Hi, it's me, vickym0n. Welcome to today's video. I thought I would do a full face of makeup and talk through my favourite products of the year. These are not necessarily products that have been released this year, just products that I've really got into, kind of like my everyday makeup routine. Also, do you guys like my hair? So I had some purple and green kind of weaved through my hair, so I'm living my Beetlejuice fantasy right now and I love it. So this is the first favourite, I guess. So if you want to hang out with me today and see how I did this full look, please keep watching. Hey, so I'm going to start with my eyebrows, and my two absolute favourite eyebrow products right now are these two. So this is the Subversion Eyelash Primer from Urban Decay, and then the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I know what you're thinking, a lash primer? But seriously, watch, it's amazing. Much better than any soap I've ever tried. So I'm just going to take the wand and go like backwards through my brow hair. By the way, my brows, just take a second, well done eyebrows, because this year they have grown so much. And I do think it's down to using this product as well, because it is really conditioning. It is packed full of vitamin E. Can we just... I have never been very blessed in the eyebrow department, and my eyebrows are really fair, so I'm a natural blonde. Can you believe that, by the way? So they're really light, so I have to tint them, and I've only really recently discovered tinting my eyebrows. So now it's kind of dried a little bit. I'm just going to take my finger and just press that down so it is flat to my skin. I feel like this just makes them look much thicker, fuller, fluffier, and now we can go in and sort of define them a bit more. Okay, so I'm actually going to use a touch of pomade as well. This is the Revolution Pro Brow Pomade. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a favourite. I actually much prefer the KVD Brow Pomade, but I've run out of all of the like kind of brown shade, so I just have the coloured shades left. But I am using the KVD Brow Brush, and I'm just going to start to really gently just sweep that on top, just so it's not just a lot of skin underneath. It just makes them look a little bit fuller. But this year's definitely been about doing softer sort of looking eyebrows for me. I've always been that person that had like the real statement carved perfected brow, and now I kind of much prefer the sort of fluffy kind of looking brows. Okay, so there, the teeny tiniest amount of brow pomade. So now I've got my Urban Decay Brow Blade, and I'm going to use the side that has the little felt tip pen. So this is the shade Blackout as well. Of course, I have black hair, and I am just going to start to just quite, not too neatly, I'm just going to start to brush that through, and it just creates a little bit more sort of fine hair strokes. This is definitely, I think, my favourite eyebrow product of all time. It's just so genius. Just show you guys up close what it looks like. So it literally just looks like lots and lots of beautiful thick brow hairs. Okay, so I'm going to do my skin because I just kind of want that nice flawless base before I do my eyes. So my skin has been a little bit drier, I think, at the minute, because it's cold and with heating and things like that, it's really kind of dried my skin out. That horrible breakout that I had is starting to go away now as well. I can do a separate video on skincare because I really think I've like nailed my skincare now. But I'm going to start with a primer. So this is the Urban Decay Ultra Glow Primer. As you can see, it is really running out. I really need to get a new one. And it is just clear. So that's what it looks like. More like a serum, but a little bit thicker. I'm just going to pop that on all over. So this has hyaluronic acid in it, which, if you know is really essential to keeping your skin hydrated. And I feel like it just makes the skin look really nice and sort of naturally radiant, and it has that lovely sort of tacky feeling. Don't know if you can hear. My favourite foundation will never ever change. It's always going to be Urban Decay Stay Naked. I cannot find another foundation as good as this. Seriously. It just does everything that I want it to do. My shade that I use is 40CP, but I've run out of it at the minute because I go through so many of them. So I'm currently mixing 40WY and 41NN. So I'll put the 40WY in the centre of my face and the 41NN around the outside. And honourable mention to my Juno & Co beauty sponge. I just love these. I've bought about 8 of them since I started using them around about like June or something like that. They are the best. So I just take one pump and I like to try and spread that as far as I can. So I think starting off with one pump is really good if you are not sure how many pumps you should use or how much coverage you need. I start off with one pump, and most of the coverage I need is on the bottom of my face, not my forehead. My forehead, I don't really get any spots or anything like that. It's pretty clear. So I start on the bottom of my face, I do the one pump, and then I take a close look and I look where I need more coverage. So it's normally like on the tops of my cheeks here, a little bit around my jawline, around here, I need more coverage. Aside from that, it covers so well. This is just one pump. I know I don't have any tan on at the minute, I'm like super pale, but I feel too pale in this, so that's why we take the 41NN now. And it's almost like doing a little bit of like a really light contour, taking this darker shade just around the outside of my face. And I feel like that just gives me a little bit more colour, just kind of brings me to life a little bit more. And I really love the finish of the foundation, so we're not totally matte and we're not totally glowy. So concealer, my favourite again, is always gonna be the All Night Concealer from Urban Decay. I, again, honourable mention, I've also been using the Jouer, is that how you say it? Jouer High Coverage Concealer. This has run out now, and I am not sure if I'm going to replace it. It's okay. I would say it's a little bit more hydrating than this All Nighter Concealer. But with me being, you know, in my 30s, if it's too hydrating, then it just kind of creases. So I actually prefer more of a matte concealer. Okay, so time to set my under eyes. And this is the Revolution, is it Infinite? This is the Revolution Infinite Powder. It is, look at it, it is gone. I've gone through 3 of these this year. I love pressed powders more than loose powders. Again, with me being older, I have fine lines, and I feel like loose powders are just a little bit too drying for me. So this is just perfect because it sets down, it's translucent, and it does not accentuate my fine lines. So I only really use this for my under eyes, and I use a different powder for the rest of my face. Okay, so to set the rest of my face, this is the KVD Locket Powder. I got this a while ago, you know, and I never touched it. And then since we started wearing masks and stuff, I was like researching, you know, what the best powders are, and people kept saying this powder all the time, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna try it. I love it. It's so good. It's so lightweight, but it really does have staying power. So I'm just lightly tapping that all over the face. Okay, we are looking good, but I definitely need some bronzer. And this is the, look at the state of it, I'm so sorry. All of my makeup is just such a mess. This is the Makeup Revolution Mega Bronzer. It was so cheap. It was like three or £4. It's absolutely huge. This to me is a dupe of MAC Gimme Sun, which is what I would normally use to bronze, but I'm not paying those prices when I can get this. It is just as good, and it is so cheap. It's a really warm orangey bronzer, so if you're not about that, this is not for you. But I really like to warm up the very outside of my face. Look at that, it's the best. I always really love loads of bronzer, loads of blusher. So just do my forehead, which I mostly do sort of around the temple area. And do under my jaw. So this isn't necessarily sculpting, it's more just warming up the face. Hence why I'm doing these more sort of big swirly motions rather than being quite accurate. Okay, so now for blush. This is the Melt Cosmetics blush in Honey Thief. It's just a really sort of a light peach sort of colour. I am obsessed. Right on the top of my cheeks. It's just a really warm, really pretty colour. And just swirl that in. So I'm going to take that a little bit on my nose too, just starting underneath. And I'm just going back to that Makeup Revolution Mega Bronzer to contour my nose. Well, what I say is contouring is me just covering my whole nose with bronzer. Because I really like that sort of almost like sunburnt sort of looking nose. So this is really starting to come together now, but I just wanted to find my cheekbone just a little bit right here where I have this natural shadow, and I'm not going to open this on camera because it is destroyed. I dropped it and it shattered into a million pieces, but this is the Urban Decay Shapeshifter palette. It has powder on one side and cream on the other, so I'm just going for the powder in the warm, deep warm bronzer, and I'm literally just putting that right at the very back part of my cheekbone, and you see how that just gives just a little bit more lift and definition. Okay, time for highlight. I have two highlighters that I love. One is a really old highlighter, so this is by MAC. It's called Fairly Precious, and it is a really gorgeous peach sort of based highlighter. It's so stunning on the apple of the cheeks, and then I would switch to a different highlighter for the very back part of my face. And this will always be a favourite. I don't know if they still do this. I'm going to have a little look. If I can find it, I will post a link down below. So the second highlighter, I just recently got this. This is from Crystal Cosmetics. She was lovely enough to send this to me. I just want to swatch this on my hand to show you guys how popping this highlighter is. Let me just get it on my finger. Look at that. Let me just swatch that on my hand. Look at that. They are insane. I am obsessed with this. Like, I can't wait to actually put it on right now to show you. It's so amazing. So they do different shades. I think this is the lightest shade that they do, or possibly second lightest. Okay, are we ready for this? It is, look at that. It is blinding. Seriously. Honestly, it's one, and it has no cast as well. It literally just catches the light. Look at it. It's so amazing. I have never experienced a highlighter this reflective. And it doesn't look like chunky on the skin. It literally just melts into the skin. Just do my whole forehead. Why not? It literally makes the skin look wet. Highly recommend this, honestly. Okay, my skin is done. Let's move on to eyes. I think you know what palette is going to be my favourite palette of the year. It's pretty damn obvious. Could it have been anything else? No. I think this palette is just going to be a firm favourite of mine for a very long time. It's just stunning. So I've really been experimenting with these greens lately. Oh my god, they are just beautiful. This colour, beautiful. Maybe the colours that you might not dip into. I haven't really explored much with the centre of the palette, so I think I'm going to use some of these centre colours today, or maybe just the greens, because I just love the greens. They are my absolute favourite. But if you don't have this palette, what are you doing? Just buy it. It's incredible. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Let's just have a play around like we always do. Do I ever have a plan? No, I never have a plan. Not on this channel. We're not organised here. Yes, I just primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Eden eyeshadow primer. Again, I will never not use this. I keep thinking that I want to try the P. Louise bases. So I might pick them up this year. Let's go for the kind of browns and we'll mix in some greens as well. So let's go for this shade first. And I have my Peaches PC35 brush, which is also a favourite. I've also been really loving the Eyeshadow brushes as well, but these are just always what I reach for. I always reach for my Peaches brushes. This is a stunning sort of brick brown red. Ugh. So I'm going to blend it out with this shade Ginger, and I'm just going to start to bring that round. This is probably going to end up looking more neutral than I thought, actually. I just think these colours blend so well. They are so pigmented. I just think they are unbeatable, personally. I just never get bored with this palette. Like, I will look at the palette and just feel inspired when I do. Let's go for the shade Yellow. And I'm just going to start to do sort of bigger blending motions to start to drag this out. Me doing warm tones, who is she? So I always like to apply my colours like roughly, just to get the shape and stuff mapped out, and then I'll go back in with the colours again to make sure that they're nice and blended together. Just going to start to take that a little bit towards the temple as well. So now I'm going back through the steps again. So that shade, is it Cocoa first? Right on the outer corner. And I'm not going to bring that too far around because we're going to do some kind of nice greens on the inner corner. And then Ginger, just to diffuse that edge. I'm like always wondering why my back's hurting, and then look at my posture. I'm like really hunched over. I need to sit up straight. I mean, just look how effortless that blend was. Just barely any effort, just sweeping the colours on, and it's just like perfect. It's so weird looking at me with these warm tones on. I never wear warm tones like this, but I quite like it. I think it looks nice. Let's go for this one, Khaki, now. So I'm taking that on a smaller brush, and I'm just going to start to pop that in the inner part of the eye. I'm not concerned about the lid right now. This is like such a true khaki shade as well, which I just think is really hard to nail. It's either too brown or it's too green, and this is perfect. So now I'm going to go for the shade Clay, which probably disgusts a lot of people, but it's so pretty on, I promise. It is a little bit of a strange colour, but buffed in, it is so gorgeous. It is kind of similar to that colour from the Melt Recently Deceased palette, but it's a little bit more sort of mustard based. So I'm just going to go back to that brush that has yellow on to just diffuse the edges and kind of marry those two colours together in the middle too. I'm going to mix in a little bit of the shade Bamboo as well. I'm going to be using quite a few different greens. So this is just going to make it look slightly more green toned. There we go, that's so pretty. Just so it looks a little bit more sort of multi-dimensional. So I'm just going to take this shade Forest now, because I want a little bit more green right in the inner corner. Yeah. And these they just build on top of each other so well. It's just so minimal effort to get amazing results. Okay, I really want to deepen this outer corner a bit more, so I'm going to take Forest again. It's probably a bad idea, but let's go for it. Let's see if we pack that in the outer corner. Let's see what happens. And now if I just take Cocoa over the top. Yep, I like. Okay, so I'm just going to wet my brush. with setting spray, and I'm going to take the shade, this one, Tahiti Queen, and I'm not really bothered if this is going to go on like super duper pigmented. It's just to give us a really sort of light base shade, because I'm going to put a pigment on top. Okay, so time for the pigment. This is Rattlesnake from Peaches and Cream. If you haven't tried their pigments, get some today. They are amazing. I can show that a little bit up close. Spray my brush again. My setting spray is dying. And I'm just going to pack that on top. And it just looks honestly amazing with these colours. Oh my god, it's so, honestly, in person my camera is just not picking it up. In person it's honestly, it's the best. Yes. Stunning. Let me even up the other side, be right back. I'm back. So next we're on to eyeliner. This is the KVD Cake Pencil in Mad Max Brown. It's, oh my god, the formula is just amazing. I have seriously watery eyes and really bad allergies, and this just stays on so well. I love doing a little inner corner point with it. It's amazing. And especially the brown one. I've got the black one and I had the white one. The white one ran out so quickly. I used it so much. Pop that in my waterline. It's quite a deep chocolate brown. There's quite a lot of KVD things that I have never really sort of thought of. Like, I have them in my collection and I've just been like, meh. And then this year I've kind of like discovered them and just been shook. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat what I did on top underneath. So just going for that cocoa shade, or cacao, however you say it, about halfway, and then taking ginger. So we're just repeating the steps that we did on top, just underneath. And I'm also going to do that yellow as well, right underneath. Super grungy. Loving this look so far. So let's go for lashes. This is Urban Decay Lash Freak, and I got it customized so it says my name. Can you see that? It says Vicky. This mascara is, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. If you're out looking for a new mascara, just get this one. It's so good. I have the worst eyelashes. I would say my eyelashes are like camel's eyelashes. They're like straight and they go straight down. This actually makes it look like I have eyelashes. Like, look what it does to my bottom lashes. Hello. See this? It's amazing. Get it? So I'm going to stick some eyelashes on in a sec, and my eyelashes are always from Bulk Lash. These are my favourite. These are the day and night. These ones in particular are my absolute favourite eyelashes. I wear them all the time. I'm going to do a very small little inner corner point because it is my thing right now. And just follow the top of my eye down and then push back to the waterline. Just a really small one. Because it's brown, it just looks really subtle. So here we go, stick my lash on. I love any lashes that are like really spiky. And these are super spiky. Oh, they're just the best. And they are so cheap as well, and you get loads in the pack. They last me so long, and they're like the nicest company as well. They're just so nice and supportive, because some companies can be obsessed with this eye look. I love Tahiti, never ever lets me down. Okay, so lips. My absolute favourite nude lipstick I think I've ever tried, ever, is this nude lipstick from Vive called Treasure. Not only is the packaging divine, I mean mine's obviously dirty because I'm just, but yeah, not only is the packaging amazing, it's this kind of like almost like faux leather with the gold top. The colour is just, I'm literally like halfway through it already. The colour is just my perfect nude. So that paired with my favourite lip liner from Urban Decay. This is Liar. It's not too tan, it's not too pink. It goes with loads of colours. It's just such a perfect nude. So just outline and then fill in a little bit. So this was the only thing that I got from the Vive launch. And I am really considering getting the palette and the highlighter and stocking up on this lipstick. It's a soft matte. It does not feel dry on the lips. Just like to pat it in with my finger. It doesn't feel dry. It doesn't look dry. It's just perfect. I think this is my overall favourite product of 2020 in general, because I really struggle to find new lipsticks that I like. They're either too dark, too orange, too pink, and this is just, it just is perfect. It's just so perfect. It's so worth the money. Okay, so my final favourite thing of 2020 is fake freckles. Since I started doing these fluffy brows, more glowy skin, I just wanted that sort of fake freckle look, and I was using my brow blade by Urban Decay, which is amazing, but this is so much easier and so much quicker. This is the L'Oreal Paris Magic Retouch Root Spray. So this is for your hair, and I do use it for my hair as well. So I have a black one, which I use because I am going grey and I'm a natural blonde with black hair. So I do use the black one to touch up my roots, but this one is amazing for doing freckles. So I'm going to demonstrate it for you now. Give it a shake, and I kind of cover this part. Like I cover like my mouth area because I want it to more be like across my nose and cheeks. And then I'm going to hold it kind of above my head. And just do a couple of little sprays. So I'm going to slowly keep doing that until I'm happy. I am really hoping that you can kind of faintly see the little freckles. It picks up so well on my digital camera for taking photos, and it just looks so natural. So that is it. That is my favourite of 2020. This is the finished look, and I hope you love it. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported me this year and subscribed to my channel. I did just start off in 2020 a little bit late, I know. It's because of all of you why I keep making these videos, so thank you so much. So if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe for more videos in the future. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!